So hi everybody, welcome to another live stream. So on tonight's live stream, we're going to be talking about four main areas really. Number one, how do you make the most of a drill, which I think is a really, really important thing. Number two, why do most golfers don't improve? Number three, what is the hottest brand on the market at the minute? And question four, all the questions are going to come from you. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, welcome. If you're watching on Instagram Live right now, welcome to you as well. We're going to be talking about those four main areas. So guys, smash those comments down below. If you have got any questions right now about your golf game, because over this course of this 30 minutes now, we're going to go through how do you make the most of a drill? Really, really important for everybody in their golf game. Why most golfers don't improve. Number three, what's the hottest brand on the market right now? And then number four, all the questions from you. So if you've ever got any questions about your golf game, please do smash them down below. So let's start this right now. How do you make the most of a drill? I saw this question actually on a live stream I did 2-3 days ago. And someone actually commented saying, do you think drills are good for your golf game? Do you think that they help people improve? And with it being drills, do you think training aids help you improve? So what my answer to that was, I think training aids are fantastic to get a feeling for a drill. And then once you've got that feeling, I really think then you've got to sort of wean yourself off that drill. So it's going from that, right, okay, I'm using this training aid all the time. I'm always going to use this training aid, and then I'm going to filter my way off this training aid to really then just go, right, okay, I've got that feeling. I've got the feeling to hit that ball away. I don't know how you feel about that. And on those facts of training aids or on drills, what is your favorite comment on that? What training aids and drills are you using right now? You've got to have one that's your favorite. I think that one that is your favorite has to make you tick. You might have one with irons, you might have one with driver, you might have one with short game stuff. So get in those comments down below if you're watching here on YouTube, and I'd love to know what exactly they are. So guys, I just want to say, if you're brand new to Alex Elliott Golf, welcome to Alex Elliott Golf. It is great to actually have this live stream again. I did it last week for the Golf Buddy giveaway. And by the way, we do have some extra news on that very, very soon. So if you're bothered about that, or you're thinking, right, okay, well, I didn't get a chance to win that Golf Buddy watch, we do have some more giveaways coming very soon. So if you're watching on Instagram, keep your eyes peeled. If you're watching on YouTube, also keep your eyes peeled. So if you are watching on YouTube right now, stay right where you are. If you're watching on Instagram right now, head over to YouTube and come and join us. So guys, welcome to Beginner Golfer. Thanks so much. I noticed you comment on a lot of the YouTube videos, so it's great to have you as part of all the content and a part of this channel. What comments have you got? So Carlo said his favorite drill was a lawnmower drill. That was a really good one, wasn't it? And that was great to try and feel like you were rotating in that backswing, trying to feel as though you got the shoulders working on playing. It's a hard thing to do, isn't it? I think it's a really hard thing to do. It's about finding a feeling and taking that into a shot. So thank you, Carlo, for that. Darren Henderson, have you not swore yet, bro? And that was last week. God, I was on time this week. It doesn't count. So if you were watching last week, I had an absolute shambles. I couldn't get to, I'm going to say exactly what happened. I didn't realize, or I actually forgot that when you're doing a stream, you have to do it through like Zoom, or you have to do it through a third party. So Zoom, Skype, whatever it is. And I didn't have it. So I was there at 5-2 going, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? So I was there basically having to set up Zoom. And that's why I was like, absolute carnage. I came on here the same color as the wall right now. And I was just like, oh. So thanks, Darren. I was trying to forget what actually happened on that front. So thanks. Next one coming here from Frank Rodriguez. He said, hey, Alex, cheers from Canada. Welcome. Guys, where are you listening from? Comment them down below. It'd be great to see where you're listening from. No, Darren, I know you're only kidding. Honestly, I was I was going so red. I could feel myself going really hot. Like, I'm sure if you guys have done a meeting at work or you've done something, you just go, oh, God, horrible. So, Josh, thanks so much. You got to be a table drill. Actually, next week, guys, Josh is going to be on this chat. We're going to talk about our podcast, How to Ruin a Good Walk. And I promise we will definitely get you laughing on that front. Beginning Golfer said his favourite drill was the compression drill. Yeah, that's a really good one. Which one was that? Because we've done a few different ones. One with the T-peg, one with feeling the pressure in the ground. What was your favourite one on that front? Because there's loads of different ways to feel this. And that's what I think you've got to understand. You might be trying to work towards a certain goal on this drill front of what it is. You've got to then find what that drill is, find that aspect, and you might have to try 3 or 4 different drills working towards the same thing. It's a hard thing to do. So, guys, if you are listening right now, I really appreciate it if you could hit that big thumbs up button. It's great to have you on board here, and it's great to speak to so many of you on a Sunday evening. It's great. I really love it. So another one coming in here from Steve Brown. Best drill I have been given is lie and the tee an inch in front of the ball. The aim is to hit the ball and take the tee out. Yes, Steve, that's a really good one. I actually think that's a really good one with like your 9 iron, 8 iron, 7 iron. I find sometimes it can make you hit too much down on it in a way, start digging towards the ball. But definitely, Steve, I think that's a really, really good one to find that strike. So thank you for that. Listening from sunny Cornwall. Thanks. I mean, I'm talking to you from sunny Manchester. Not really, honestly. Weather's been terrible. So Philip Wooten said, hi Alex, I really like the drill with the string, straighten the face up and driver at impact. That's a really good one. And I apologize in that video to everybody watching it. And you were asking that question, how high was the string from the ground? The answer to the question was roughly about that height. So 6, 7 inches, 8 inches high. Just enough basically to get your head underneath and for you not to hit. It's great for angle of attack. It's great for getting the club face lined up. So it's a real good drill. I really like that one. And it's that easy. You can make it from home. I just literally use 2 skewers that you make kebabs with, piece of string, and put it through. Another one coming in here from Andres, says coming in from Germany. Andreas, thank you so much for listening from Germany, Stuttgart. Scott listening from Atlanta, Georgia. Josh, on next week, 7 p.m. We'll be here with you. Knocking over the chair, had a funny look in the office when I went to do it. Yeah, I mean, smacking the back of the chair. You didn't see the outtakes of that video as well. I was hitting the back of the chair and Josh was filming with me and we hit that and the chair was going flying. I'm like, we can't really leave that in. So yeah, we took that out. Steve listening from snowy Wales. Josh asking a really good question. What is your favorite drill? Personally, my favorite drill is when I actually have the chair in front of me. So on my left hand side, me trying to feel as though I rotate more than I slide. As you know, if you guys watch this channel all the time, I'm a big slider and swayer into the golf ball. It's not pretty. It's high rights with the irons and it's snap hooked with the driver. Not nice. Fear it a lot. Darren Henderson said, Manchester, really? You're only around the corner from me. Yeah, Darren, I live in Cheadle-Hulme. Don't know if that's anywhere near you. So yeah, sunny Manchester. Absolutely. What, Darren, on that note, what is your favourite golf course in the area? And if you remember anywhere, let's see where you remember. So Michael Cunningham said, hi, Alex, I love the drill when you point to the butt end of the club on the backswing. However, I haven't got a clue where I'm pointing it on the downswing. Michael, one thing I would say is don't get too perfect on the downswing. If you think about it this way, I think of the golf swing, it always has foundations. Those foundations are your setup, your grip, and how you prepare it in the backswing. The way I kind of get a lot of people to feel about the golf swing is you are pulling that elastic band back to prepare everything perfectly. So on the way down, you can just let it go. You can let it go straight into the back of the golf ball. And that's the best way to do it because you want the backswing to be a little bit more thoughtful because it can be a little bit slower. And the downswing to be freewheeling is the best term that I would say. So, Michael, hopefully that helps you. Glenn Palmer said, what shaft are you using in your Cobra one-length irons? And are they stiff shaft? Would you ever consider a lightweight shaft for faster swing speed? So, Glenn, what I'm currently using right now is an X100 And I think they're called Tour White, even though they're fully black, they're called Tour White shaft. So the fully black shaft, fully black grips and black heads. New irons coming very, very soon. What irons should I get? Obviously within the Cobra range. Smash those comments down below what irons you think I should get. In terms of, they're quite a heavy shaft, X100s for me. I've never considered using a lighter weight shaft. Since I turned pro, I've always used the heaviest shaft, and I've always used irons that were probably too heavy for me. So when I've gone to a lighter shaft, even though technically probably they were better for me in terms of numbers, playability for me, I found a lot harder. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people forget when they're getting fitted for clubs. Yes, you've got to give good numbers. That's one thing that's got to be really good, especially imagine you're getting fitted inside. You've got to have good numbers that work for you at distance, at accuracy, whatever that might be. But you also can't forget that club's got to be playable. So I remember getting fitted a long time ago before I started working with Cobra. I actually got fitted for an M1. I got fitted an indoor unit with this driver. It was a smaller head, 430 head. Gave me perfect numbers, absolutely perfect numbers inside. But then I took it outside, took it to the golf course, and it just didn't work. I couldn't play it. I'd have to hit my Sunday best for it to perform. So if I've ever got any advice to you about getting some new golf clubs, we really need to make sure it's got good playability. So good playability means you can put it in play when you want to, not necessarily hitting the perfect shot every time. It's having a go-to shot that you can use. And that driver, the iron's got to have that. So I think that's a really good piece of advice. So Glenn, thank you so much for that question. Good. But one thing I'm going to try, Glenn, if this actually is a piece of advice for anybody, possibly, I'm going to try a longer shaft in my driver, old Bryson style. So yeah, I'm going to look forward to doing that. So Jorgen Åkesson, I'm sorry if I pronounced that terribly wrong. Hello from Sweden. So hello, welcome. Thank you for tuning in from Sweden. Scott Dale said, invitation still open, plane ticket to Atlanta, some lessons, some game of golf, all paid. Scott, sign me up. Soon as we're able to travel, soon as we're able to go, send me an email. I'm there. We could do some filming. This sounds like an unbelievable trip. So she sent me an email today actually about going out to San Francisco after all this is done, and they'll take me for a game of golf. I mean, that's an unbelievable thing. So, I mean, I'm overwhelmed. That's been my absolute dream. I've only played golf in America once when I was younger. And I remember playing in Florida, and I must have probably been about 11 or 12. And safe to say that I couldn't carry the water on any of the holes. So I just put it in the water every single time. John, evening. Welcome. John, hope you're all good. Eddie, the lefty, Eddie from Greenwich, Scotland. Eddie, hope you're enjoying your golf up there. I know obviously probably a little bit cold, but it's great to see that you can still play some golf. Another question from beginner golfer. What's your thoughts on shortening your woods? Driver, improve accuracy. The one thing I would say is with the drivers currently put out on the market, we obviously see that Bryson is making his clubs longer, and that's one thing that he's doing to obviously increase his club head speed, hit it further. He's obviously an elite athlete. The one thing when you buy a driver off the shelf, they're always a lot longer than tour average. So I think tour average is about 43.5 inches in shaft length. But when you buy a driver off the shelf, that's roughly probably sometimes around 45. So I've always used, since turning pro and trying to play at elite amateur level, I've always used a shorter shaft, so 43 to 43.5. I found it really works much better for accuracy. So one thing I would definitely do is have a look at shortening that shaft for accuracy. If you can, obviously always try that first. It will obviously feel like you've got a lot more control, but you will possibly forgive a little bit of yards. Now, if that's something that doesn't bother you at your golf course or bother you in your game, then it's definitely something I would definitely recommend. So definitely a lot there, didn't I? So Frank, another question. Another towel drill for irons, iron shots, setting the towel about 6 inches behind the ball really helps you hit pure shots. Yeah, it does. It's a real simple one. I put that up on Instagram. So guys, if you have got Instagram, I should say, fire yourself over there and have a look at that. It was a really good one. Darren Henderson said, okay, I'm a member at Ellesmere, only just joined before lockdown. My first ever club after a customer, Heel Green, started to take me to the academy course at Style. Fab. I've never played Ellesmere actually, but I've been to Style a lot of times and I know Heel Green. So it's cool that you're really close. Dave McKenna, come to Orlando and we'll play at Disney courses. Dave, thank you so much for the invite. As soon as this is all fit and healthy and we can travel safely, I'm definitely wanting to take a trip over to America and do some filming, see a lot of you guys, and possibly even do like a clinic or something, and you guys can come and watch. It'd be great. Philip Wooten, Alex, who is your friend's other golfer in YouTube, and would you ever appear on their channel? So guys, I'm going to tell you now, actually, I'm going to be getting an online lesson from Chris Ryan. So I consider him a really good friend on YouTube. Alistair Davis, a really good friend. But to be honest, I don't not get on with anybody. I've got probably, well, I don't know. Thing is, I think with YouTube, and on that question, I think a lot of other people who are on YouTube in the golf circle see everybody as competition and almost like, oh, you can't do this, can't do that. Well, look, my theory about this way is you could sing a song 5, 6, 20 different ways that all mean something different to somebody else. So however you say it, it's gonna come across slightly differently. So I mean, I consider everybody. Sorry for that sounded like a really PC answer. So to really answer it properly, yeah, Chris Ryan, Alice Davis are probably my two there. I'm going to be taking a lesson from Chris, online lessons, or for my road to the Open. Those videos of me having my lessons will be on YouTube, and they're going to start from Monday. Fingers crossed. So, guys, what do you think of me getting a lesson from Chris? Fire it down below. Give me your thoughts. Scott Dale said, if you shorten the shaft, won't it make it stiffer? It depends what end you take it from. If you took it from the tip end, Scott, yes, it would make it a little bit stiffer. Taking it from the top end as well would potentially make it a little bit, but not as much as taking it from the bottom end. But one thing it will do, it will change the swing weight. So it will make it feel a little bit different. So this is why I'm saying you've got to try it out. You've got to make sure it's good for your game. What do you think about Patrick Reed's antics? Oh, Eddie, what I would say is it's definitely not the first time and it won't be the last. I think it's terrible. If I'm perfectly honest with you, I think there's been other people within the European Tour that have had a running of nowhere near as bad as what he has done and been reprimanded for it 10 times worse. Like, they don't deserve that, if I'm perfectly honest. That happened to them and they didn't deserve it at all. Whereas him, possibly because of who he is and being a big figure and being a major championship winner, I think he gets away with a lot. And that's my personal opinion. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. I think it's absolutely terrible what he's done. Honestly, absolutely terrible. What do you think of that, guys? Give me your opinion down below on that whole scenario. That whole scenario for me, it just boils my blood thinking about it because I don't know. I'm trying to be careful what I say. If we think about it this way, I think it's terrible, absolutely terrible. But I'd like to know what you think. John said, I think Chris is great. I look forward to seeing your lessons with him. Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I've never had a lesson of Chris before. I've seen what he does online. I've spoken to him a few times. I've actually shadowed him when he was teaching. He was good enough when I was going through my whole process of developing me as a golf coach. He invited me down. He let me shadow him within lessons. So I've learned a lot with him over the years and with Alistair Davis. So I'm looking forward to having that lesson and seeing him tear me apart, in other words. So it'll be good. Josh said, about time in the lesson, you might actually be able to beat me and Leachy. Mate, I'm not even rising to it. Not even rising to it. Does anybody have those two people that you play with all the time that claim that they win? And when they win that one time, they don't let you forget it? Yeah? Smash those comments down below. Tag them in this video. Because I fully believe that you always have those two people at the golf club. Darren Henderson. I'm not far from Worsley Marriott, where Rick Shield played also. I've played there a few times. Lovely course when the final weather. Darren, yeah, I played Worsley a few times. I actually qualified for the English PGA finals there. Probably one of my, not my lowest round of golf, but under the pressure, probably one of my best rounds of golf. So I've got good, fond memories from there. Joe Bradley, Chris Ryan is a great choice of coach. If you can't get Dan Whitaker, yeah, I'm going with Chris. I think Chris is really, really good. So I'm looking forward to that. Steve Hibbs said, hope you're keeping well. I'm looking forward to continuing where we left off prior to lockdown. Not from the club in 6 weeks. Damn, book. I mean, not what I want to hear. I want to hear that you're practicing. I'm joking. Yeah, I really hope we can get back sooner rather than later. I know if you're not in the UK, you might not know this, but actually, I saw a thing from England Golf that was put out, and fingers crossed, we might be back out on the golf course sooner rather than later. So I want to go on to my second point of tonight, because I realize I've got loads of questions there, which is absolutely fantastic. I've got a question to you, though. Why do you think most golfers don't improve? This is one of the ones I got written down here. Why do you think most golfers don't improve? Before I say it, I want to hear what your thoughts on this are. What are your thoughts on this? So why, I'm going to put it in here. Why do most golfers not improve? Why? It's a funny one. Why do you think that? Smash those comments in there down below. Why do you think most golfers don't improve? Never should have lifted the ball. Yeah, Eddie, I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying right now on the Patrick Reed front. Darren, equipment. So equipment, golfers don't improve because of equipment. So what are your thoughts on that? Practice makes perfect. Yeah. I also think practicing smart. So it's not necessarily practicing just for the sake of practicing. It's making sure we're practicing smart. That's one of my points. Probably because we're stubborn and don't like to make change. Stuart, very, very good point. I don't think just club golfers or anybody. I think everybody's stubborn. Everybody's stubborn. Jamie Burns said mentality. If I worry about I might change something, make it worse. Yeah, John, it's a fair point. Joe says don't practice enough. Dennis says the biggest reason most people can't acknowledge their weaknesses. Yeah, Dennis, I think that's a really big one, and I think that goes to people of all level. 100% you need to get fitted for sure. I think golf equipment has a big thing. Not prepared to make a change. And poor course management. Yeah, poor course management because they don't feel what they do. So do you want my opinion on the reason why most golfers don't improve is this. I think number one, we don't practice smart. We just go and hit balls for the sake of hitting golf balls. I think the great points that we've all said, and there is the mentality and actually wanting to make that change. And that's really big. So how I think if you're going to want to improve, you've got to look at it in these three areas. You've got to look at technique. Okay, what is my technique? How is my technique affecting me? Am I making this change for my swing to look better? Am I making this swing to actually perform better and eradicate a bad shot? That's the only point at which we should make a swing change for me. If it says perform better and to take out a shot. Second point, if we're going to really improve, is making sure our equipment is right for our game. Now, I appreciate that one is a hard one because it is very, very expensive sometimes to get our equipment perfect for our game. So I'll put that in inverted commas. And the final one there is how we go about improving and how we go about bringing that into our game. So if we're looking at a practice session, and this is what I get a lot of people to do, I have no wanting to practice any more than 20 minutes. Now, if you're going to the range, I would say 50 golf balls max. If you've got a golf net at home, 20-minute sessions. So 50 golf balls or 20-minute sessions. And I believe in those sessions, like someone's commented down here below, Neil Taylor, not practicing the right areas. We've got to practice every area of that game. So how I would practice 50 golf balls is 20 golf balls working on a drill, work on those feelings. So within those 20 golf balls, we'd have 4 sets of 5. And then those 4 sets of 5, we would have 3 golf balls, which are us feeling a drill that your coach has set out to you. Don't worry about ball flight because we can't be too worried about ball flight to begin with. We would then go into that space of those 2 golf balls in that 5-ball set, finally, would be you picking a shot, hitting it toward the target. So you've got that blend of actually improving my technique to actually improving my performance in the golf course. And I would treat those 2 shots as if you were hitting balls out on the golf course, going through your full routine, working through the routine, working through a feeling. So then you've got another 30 golf balls after your session here. I would then go another 10 golf balls, doing the same 5-ball sets with a different club. The last bit, the last part here, the last 20 golf balls of your set, I want you to go from chipping, so some short game shots in front of you, building all the way out, hitting drivers. setting a fairway, setting an objective. So the last 10 golf balls or last 5 golf balls going, right, okay, I've got a fairway here. How many times can I hit the fairway? I'm setting a green out here. How many times can I hit a green? Note this down. Each time you go to the range, can I improve that? You've got to practice smart, where you finish every single session of 20 minutes or 50 golf balls with a tiny little bit of a challenge that gets your competitive juices flowing. I know I've been there in the sense of, right, can I hit golf balls? Can I do this? Because you hit golf balls, get that feeling, you feel great, but actually you leave the session, if you don't actually perform right at the end, not feeling great. And you've got to think your attention's dropped off. So if you can put yourself under a bit of pressure, helps keep your attention up. It also puts you in that space of, right, okay, can I really get this down to a tee? Can I really perform? So on the golf course, you've already been in that situation. Yeah, I guess that's a great question. Improvement depends on why do you play the game. Having fun might not need improvement in technique. Absolutely 100% of a perfect point. The one thing I'd say, though, if we're playing with friends and we're looking to be competitive, no matter what level that is, we're probably going to want to make some improvements. We may feel we may want to make some improvements. Now, like I said at the first thing, it's only making improvements if we feel they're actually going to give us benefits in our ball flight. So I think that's really important. So let's move on to the third point. Before we get into some more questions from you guys, what is the hottest brand on the market right now? We're just going to go equipment, so hardware. So that'd be drivers, irons, wedges. Smash those comments down below. Who do you feel is the hottest brand on the market right now? I think this is a big one. I think there's a lot of good competitors for this year. I think a lot of brands are coming up and coming in the terms of changing up their technology, changing up their look, changing up their marketing, bringing it to the forefront. So Richard, yeah, I do online lessons, Richard. I do them. Check out my website. I do some lesson plans, or even find me an email, Richard, if you want to ask a few more questions. It's Alex Elliott Golf at. I've completely given it now. Do you know what, Richard? There you go. My email is here. That's my email. Anybody wants to ask me any questions about online lessons? So we've got here Titleist, TaylorMade, Mizuno, TaylorMade, Cobra, Ping, Mizuno. So Mizuno's got the most there. You know, the one thing I would say here is, this is my truth on this. I'm not saying this because I am a Cobra ambassador, I'm a Puma ambassador. I think Cobra's F9 driver has caused a lot of other brands to go, whoa, right, we really need to bring this to the forefront now. We really need to actually work hard on this, bring these equipment to the forefront, make it look better, make it look nicer. That's my opinion on that. I think that F9 driver really shook a few brands in saying, we can make something that performs a little bit cheaper. We can make something that is really good looking for a little bit cheaper. And we can make something that everybody wants for a little bit cheaper. It always used to be that obviously your TaylorMades and your Callaways were the big one. It's actually funny how no one has actually commented Callaway on here so far. So Carlo, agree with Richard. Ping driver or Mizuno? Yeah, Richard, I think Ping driver looks very good this year. Mizuno irons. I've never actually hit a Mizuno iron. Never. I've always wanted to try. I've tried the wedges, but I've never hit an iron. Everybody's always telling me how pure they are. So yeah, who do we think is going to be the biggest brand of this year? I think it's an interesting one, this, because the Ping have brought a new driver. We've got Titleist, we've got Cobra with the Rad Speed, we've got Callaway, we've got TaylorMade. Are there too many choices out there? Is there too much competition? The one thing someone said last week, and the beginner golfers said this, Wilson Staff, very much an underrated iron. I would, or brand. I would have to agree on the iron front. I couldn't really kind of say anything else on that. Steve Brown, totally agree, Alex. I use the F9 SC. Great club. Cobra has a great price point as well. It makes you think, doesn't it, Steve? It really does make you think. How can they make something that performs as good, if not better, than all the brands for a lot cheaper? it definitely has shook the market up a little bit. And then you've got your likes of the PXG, which are really high up there. Has anybody actually got some PXG? It'd be interesting to know if you actually have and what you think about them. PXG is making a move into mainstream now and affordable. I still think they've always got to have that persona, though, of PXG being that really expensive brand, being that thing that's really, I don't know. I really feel they're very expensive. I've never tried them. And would I want to try them? Would I, if I was a club golfer, buy them? The answer to that question is no. I wouldn't buy them. I wouldn't buy them. Even if they were really good and performing, would they give me enough performance to warrant that much investment? No, is the answer to my question on that. Strixon making their moves. I've used Strixon irons as an amateur. I really, really like them. Andrew Murray put me on the Strixon irons. I had about 2 or 3 sets of them. Really, really like them. Very well made irons. Wedges are lovely, and the Cleveland wedges as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed using them. So we can see some interesting chat here on that point of irons and on that point of brands. What questions have you got for me? We'll spend this last 5 minutes of the live stream this evening. And don't worry, I'm going to do this every single Sunday at 7 p.m. because you guys enjoyed it last week and I really enjoyed it as well. It's great to hear and answer your questions. So what questions have you got for me? What would you like to know? Anything at all. Anything on my road to the Open series, anything on my tips, something that could help your game. What questions have you got? Fire them in now. We'll spend the last 5 minutes going through some of these questions. It'd be great to hear from you all. So Steve Hewitt said PXG driver is cheaper than anybody else's this year. It's last year's headers around 250 with no shaft upcharge. I didn't realize PXG's was cheaper than anybody else's. So Neil Taylor said, what's your preferred ball of choice? So this is an interesting fact. It's not even a fact, really. It's a statement. I didn't use a Pro V1 up to about 2 years ago. Never used one, which might sound crazy. I'd always used a Strixon Z-Star or a Z-Star XV. I kind of changed between them both. Probably actually prefer the XV. I now currently use the Pro V1X, and I really enjoy that golf ball. I really like that golf ball. So that's my preferred ball of choice. Guys, just want to say, if you are enjoying this content, I really appreciate it. If you're watching right now, it'd really help me if you hit that big thumbs up button. And if you've not, join this team by hitting the big red subscribe button. It really helped me grow the channel. I want to get us to 100,000. It'd be great to have you as part of that. But Dennis said, does a high handicapper need to have a 14 club bag or is it overkill? Dennis, one thing I would say is sometimes having 14 clubs in your bag may give you too many options. I only say may. I think if you use the 14 clubs wisely, so maybe replacing those longer irons to your 4-iron, 5-iron with some potential hybrids, I think it's using them wisely. I don't think it's overkill. I think you've got to use it wisely. Make a setup which is going to help you perform the best. That's really important. So Joe Bradley said, I said Mizuno because the driver is about $200, cheaper than everyone, but I'm still buying a Cobra just for the more confidence factor. I think a Cobra is a great choice. The last 3 years and the last 2 years, they've had a great club, great driver, great irons, and they're backed up again this year. Philip said, I saw you guys putting on your own grips. Can you shorten your club with a hacksaw? I think you can, yeah. And the one thing I'd say though, Philip, you file that top end down. If you're going to do that, and I'd put it in like a little bit of a vice if you can, and always be careful. If you can, ideally, we want that little bit of a thing where you tighten it, almost like a tin opener, that you move it round. I would always use that just because you don't want to damage your shaft. Because if you damage your shaft, it's going to be more expensive to replace that. So maybe look on Amazon or something like that, or eBay. Someone may have an old tool that you can just do that with. Craig Sharp said, you're sticking with the Cobra Speed Zone driver or are you changing it out? So Craig, I will be changing it out. I will be going into the Rad Speed. I will be doing a little bit of a test though, and I will be getting fitted for it. And I will document it on YouTube, which one performs best for me, because hopefully the new one does. But because I'm going for the Road to the Open this year, the one that will be in the bag will be the one that performs the best. I promise you that. I absolutely promise you that. God's honest truth. The one that'll be in the bag will be the one that performs the best for me. And I'll do that fitting and I'll show you that whole thing. As Jameson said, no matter how hard I try, I can't stop standing up at the top of the backswing. So I mentioned the drill earlier, the lawnmower drill. Go and check that one out because that one's a really good one about learning, stay in posture. The title of the video is Don't Turn Your Shoulders Like This, I think, something like that. So yeah, go and check that one out. Being a golfer, Philip, I would imagine so. Treadmill will be better. Graphite splinters. Yeah, it's got to be very careful, especially if it's a graphite shaft on those. Is it Super Stroke? Not Super Stroke. The Odyssey ones from last year with the graphite and steel inserts. Be very careful. I would potentially go and see a pro if you want to see it properly. When did you start playing golf? From Carlo. I started at 13. So Carlo, I told the story the other day actually. I started playing golf very young. My dad took me to group lessons at about 3 or 4. I played all the way through up to being 11. Then as a young lad, I picked up loads of other sports and came back to it probably properly around the age of 13 and went, right, I want to do this. I want to try and get as good as I get, how good as I could get. And from there, so I played quite a while and hopefully should get better. John said, use an adjustable pipe cutter. Yeah, it's a really good point. Frank, mallet or blade putter? Mallet or blade? I'm one of them golfers that would like to think they could use a blade, but can't use it for toffee. So I'm currently using a 2-ball, so more of a mallet style putter, and I'm really enjoying that. So it's really, really good. Ewan said here, what Cobra driver head gives the lowest spin? So in my opinion from last year, just the Cobra SZ, not the SZ Max or the SZ Extreme, I think it was, gives you the lowest spin. And within that, you can move your heavier weight close to the front. So by moving your heavier weight close to the front, you will forgive a little bit of forgiveness, but you will reduce the spin because the heavier weight, more center of gravity is close to the back of the face, not further away. That would reduce the spin. So if you have got the SZ, I would get the weight or an adjustable driver, any of you there, weight just behind the head. Move it, the heavier weight there. If you want to reduce your spin. Robert Morgan said, I love my Cleveland wedges. How about a Cleveland HB launcher? Yeah, I've never tried them, Robert, but I've heard that a very good club. Have you been club champion? Stuart, that's a great question. I've lost out 3 times in a playoff. I remember when I was 14, maybe 15, there's this guy at the golf club, and this guy has been off plus figures for 30 years. I remember holding, no exaggeration, probably was at Bramwell Golf Club, about 35, 40 footer on the last green to force a playoff. We then went round a 4-hole playoff. We had to play the 4 holes. It wasn't sudden death. A 10-footer in the 4th hole to force sudden death, and then decided to dump it in the water in the 1st hole to sudden death. Cheers. So the short answer to that question is no. I wish I had. Neil Taylor, blade all day, currently gaming a T22 Newport. I mean, Neil, I would love to use a Newport. I could use them on a putting green. I just couldn't back myself to use it. I don't know why. It's definitely in my head. Definitely in my head. What's your thought on Ben Ross as a brand, irons and woods and putters? I think they're good. They're good. I think in terms of irons, they would be pretty good. Woods, the thing I would question would be, is there the same amount of technology that goes into them as what goes into your Cobra, as what goes into your TaylorMade, Callaway? The woods I would question. The irons I would potentially not question as much. I hope that answers. Scott, I've learned a lot watching your videos. I really like the exercise drills when the girl shows very knowledgeable. Yeah, the fitness exercises on a Tuesday. They're going to be every single Tuesday, and they're going to continue to be every single Tuesday. Great to hear that all of you are enjoying those exercises a lot. So Ewan said, cheers. Joe Bradley, everybody hit the thumbs up button now. Listen to Joe. Joe said do that. So I really appreciate if everybody could hit that big thumbs up button. And if you've not, hit the subscribe button. So guys, that is the end of today's live stream. I will be back next Sunday, and we'll be doing it with Josh, who you've seen on the Friday videos. We're going to be doing a bit of club golfer chat, have a bit of banter, talk, basically a lot of what we do on the podcast, which if you listen to the podcast, is us just talking absolute rubbish for an hour. So I can't wait for you to join us next Sunday at the same time. Listen to Joe, everybody. Hit that thumbs up button. I really would appreciate it. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Sunday wherever you are. Have a fantastic week. And I will see you tomorrow on the tips at 3:30. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much. So I'll see you next week. And if I missed any of these questions, we'll start with these ones next week. Thank you so much for your time. Have a lovely evening.